You are welcome to another edition of SSM Between the Lines, our new starter update program. And as usual, I'm here with my great friends, coordinators from different parts of the world. My name is Mark Godwin Iweajunwa, and I'm here with Olayinka Raji from Lagos, Nigeria. Olayinka Raji, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Mark. Good day, our viewers from across the world. Welcome to our Monday program.
You're welcome, Raji. Raji, it's a little bit sunny out here. The weather is not too bad, but somehow we experience this flu-like thing that flies in the air. So many people are sick because it gives you that thing they call hay fever. How is the
Mm.
weather in Lagos today?
Weather in Lagos is cool. It's cool. No, not too
Nice.
sunny, not too cloudy, but cool.
Okay. Okay.
Probably you are experiencing a lot of the effect of the smoke from the Sistine Chapel. Probably there was too much smoke.
That's a good one. Okay. There's somebody that is also probably experiencing the smell of the smoke from Canada, Toronto, Canada. Is our big man, big brother, George Chukwu. George is the smoke.
No, we have a wonderful clear weather here in Canada. Greetings from Toronto, Canada, to the world, and welcome viewers to our Monday Between the Line News, where we give you what's trending around the world. Thank you so much
Thank you,
for
George,
joining
for
us.
coming. Thank you, Raji. Yes, a lot of things are trending around the world. Somebody was tickling me behind before we got into the studio. So maybe we might just run on that before every other thing. I think it's news that is trending seriously in Nigeria now. The former president of Nigeria, Jonathan Goodluck, that's George's man.
My
Goodluck's
boss.
wife. Yeah, your boss. Yes. Good Luck wife has done something very interesting. She came out today in a program, in an event, and loud and clear said she's standing and supporting APC Bola Ahmed Tinubu for 2027. Let me start with Raji.
Yes.
Raji, um, Jonathan's wife supporting APC. Remember, Jonathan is PDP. So are we coming to that one party thing truly?
Not. I don't think so. Not necessarily. Jonathan's wife, Madam Patience, was expressing her personal view that she was going to stand beside Remi Tinubu. Not
Mm-hmm.
that he was going to support APC specifically, but I mean,
Okay.
by implication, he will be supporting Remi. He will be standing beside Remi Tinubu for the next elections. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we can ever get into a one party state unless
Okay.
we want this country to go to the dogs.
Okay. Unless we want this country to go to the dogs. George, your boss's wife is supporting somebody from the other party. And when we hear these words, it might not just be these mere words. These people go all the way to truly support who they want. George, tell us what's happening there.
Well, you have to think about this whole thing in a wholesome. Number one,
Mm.
who is the person that is going to come out to stand for APC? I mean, for a PDP. Who is the next major party national party that we have? Is it going to be Atiku? Because within the PDP section right now, there is some sort of quiet chaos going on. So when you really think about that, and also, if you were to bring him back, he cannot win this second term. If he wins, he's not going to rule. So we know the gist there. It is south for 8 years and it's going to go back over there. So who do you have within the southern section that can actually withstand Tinubu as we stand today? Who is it with PDP that can withstand? And as we have seen, even with our beloved Labour Party also, I mean, we're not seeing Peter Obi coming out to run for for the next presidency. So there is an understanding. It's underlined. It is really not overt, but it's an underlying thing. So everybody is clamoring to make sure that the South completes their 8 years. Because whether we like it or not, like I said in this particular forum before, and I've said it several times, Asiwaju will finish his 8 years. So within that, it doesn't matter what the former governor of Kano State or Kaduna State was saying. It doesn't make any sense. What they need to do now is to sit back, relax, and don't trouble anybody, because Asiwaju is going to do his 8 years, whether we like it or not. And that's how Nigerian system works. And I have quoted it several times. When Buhari came into power, he didn't. There was no question whether he was going to finish his 8 years, because he fought for almost 16 years to get in, but he couldn't. When finally Jonathan conceded, the key word is conceded the election. He had to finish his 8 years. So Asiwaju is going to finish his 8 years. We're just playing what you call democratic games. So that's all it is. Thank you,
George. But you speak with so much affirmation, like you've seen this course, you've seen the results.
Been there, done that, and understand the inner secrets of what's going on in politics in Nigeria. The news will always fly, they will always make noise, but when it comes down to the nitty gritty, the background story, that happens in the midnight till 5 a.m. in the morning, there is no question. Asiwaju will finish his 8 years, and I will say it, and I will say it again. There is nothing that will stop him from winning this. That's why everybody is clamoring, going, to join him.
Okay. What really necessitated this comment from? The support from the patient Good luck is last week. PDP is looking at making some heavy comeback, and Jonathan was tipped as the man to do the comeback in 2027. So there was some shaking around of waters in the Nigerian political space when that news came out that Jonathan might be a PDP ticket. So he now warranted the wife. She was in that event for Remi Tinubu's daughter and the Tinubu family, and she now had to say this to remove every speculation. But one thing I know, George, is Nigeria has so many politicians that also think otherwise. Not everybody is thinking, yes, Raji, you agree with me, Raji. Many people are thinking otherwise. Many people are not just playing to the narrative like that,
Let me
Raji,
tell you something.
I really agree with George. I really agree with Sir George that there's no shaking for Tinubu at the moment. We don't know what will happen in the next year or so.
Why do you think most of these governors are basically trying to run, under the umbrella and the safety of APC? Why do you think so? Of course, now, forget all this nonsense we're doing in Nigeria. Sometimes I wonder, are we eating from our behind and pulling from our mouth? Because it's clear the political landscape in Nigeria, the way it works. So let's stop playing this stupid game of politics in Nigeria, and we're trying to do the shadow democracy type of nonsense we're thinking. No, Asiwaju is going to do his 8 years, and nobody can withstand him. So far, you have seen it. Everybody is running under the protection of APC. And what does that tell you? It's going to be a sweatless victory for him. And I don't care who they bring in another party, PDP or wherever. If you won this election in 2023, the way he won it, nobody will withstand him this time. He's going to finish. But
George, another thing is, listen, you speak so fair. It looks as if you've also switched to APC. Another thing.
No. George, listen to this. No, okay. Tell the truth as it stands. Let's not paint political pictures. Tell the truth as it stands. That's exactly what is going to happen.
But to tell the truth as it stands from my own standpoint is that APC Bola Ahmed Tinubu so far is not performing above. The expectation is 0. So why would
perform?
Somebody to continue putting us in more hardship?
Did Buhari perform?
Did
Buhari perform?
That's why we should get better. That's why we should grow get out of
Who,
that
if
mentality
not, if
of thinking
you
it has
you
to
refuse,
be this
you
person
refuse
because
to accept massive mark.
Mhm.
You are refusing to accept reality. If not Tinubu, who?
Listen, there are I mean Peter Obi contested.
Name one,
Um,
name one,
um,
name one,
uh,
2, 3 people.
I just named Peter Obi now, and
Peter,
take
forget,
note,
scratch
there are
that one
young
out.
minds. There are young minds in Nigeria that because they don't fit into that political box. No, we're not talking about that. Kingsley Mogulu contested. We had all these good, fresh minds
My,
that really have something to offer, and
listen,
we're talking old
listen.
man that is not rendering anything.
It doesn't matter. Not in the political landscape in Nigeria. This is dreams
Okay.
that you are having dreams. Okay, let's wake up to reality, like what our brother just said. Olayinka Raji.
Raji.
Wake up to the reality, to the political reality in our country. There's no context here. Unless, God forbid, nothing will happen to Asiwaju. He will finish his 8 years. Simple and straightforward. And may God keep him alive to finish that 8 years and healthy and strong. That's all I'm going to
Okay.
say. It's not because I
What
switched over.
what I
No,
see,
it's not
what
that.
I
It's just
see.
the realities, the political reality on the ground. And there is no question about that. Nothing will happen to him. He will not go anywhere. He will finish his 8 years. All our prayer is, may God grant him the wisdom to take this country to that promised land that we are dreaming about. Simple. That's it.
As a matter of fact, I want him to complete the 8 years so that there will be no excuse from anybody. If he had finished it, you will have done this or have done that. I wish him long life and good health for him to
Well,
stay
I
the
might be
8 years.
living in the cuckoo land, but my brothers, my men, believe me, I don't see anything progressive. I don't see anything, even if that's how it's been. That's the way we've been running our government, our politics. But it's really sad. It takes us
You are, you
nowhere.
are, you are, you
This
are,
man
you
has
are
no
still
goal. This man
you
has
are
no
still
plan.
suffering.
This man has no progressive
Massive
institution.
mark. You are suffering from a defeatist attitude. You are suffering from a defeat that you have refused to accept. Please accept that your candidate was beaten fair and square, whether you
No,
like
no,
it or not.
No, no, no,
it's
no,
not
no,
about
no.
And
my
that
candidate.
Don't say fair and square. I
the
disagree
reality
with
on
you.
ground.
Olayinka Raji.
Yes,
Olayinka,
sir.
No,
there is
no,
no
no.
fair and square in
Uh-huh.
the election.
Okay,
The
there was fair,
election was
there was square.
no, no. The
Okay,
election,
okay. Whatever the
the
case,
mandate
your
was taken.
candidate lost.
Yes,
Your
simple.
candidate lost.
Yes,
Whatever you
yes.
think of it, your candidate lost. He came third. He came third, not even second. Third.
They put him on
Yes.
third
They put
because
him
that's
third
Okay.
how
because they don't
Whatever
want him to
who,
that's how
be.
who,
They
whoever
knew.
goes there.
that's
Listen,
how they do
they
that.
put him third simply because they know that they cannot handle him as an opposition, because they know how suave, political suave that he
Now,
holds. So they
yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
put that person. No, they put him there. They put him there. There
yeah,
is no
yeah,
way
yeah,
you could
yeah,
have
you are
told
all
me.
fantastic. You are all fantastic dreamers.
No, no, no,
Because
no. They
even the
put they
vehicle,
put him there.
hold on, even the vehicle with which Obi contested the election is in shambles. So
It
how would he
doesn't
Very
have been?
matter. It
How could he
doesn't
have
matter.
been?
It doesn't
Oh,
matter. Listen to
okay.
me. If Obi was in government, there's no question among every elite in Nigeria, every intelligent person in Nigeria. If the mandate was given to Obi, Obi will be performing better today than what is happening. Listen to this.
it,
We
it,
all know
it,
this,
it,
but the best man, not the most beautiful woman ever wins the world beauty contest. It's those that show up. The point about it is, I see what you say, Emila Khan. It's my turn, and it was his turn based on the deal that was made with Buhari, and he is ruling. He will finish his 8 years. We are praying for him that wisdom will be granted him so that our country will go to that place we need to be, and there will be
Amen.
civility and peace. That's all we want to do.
Amen.
He will finish
Yes.
his 8 years.
Amen. Amen.
Anyway,
I agree with
talking
you.
of interesting. This is it. How the life runs. Different perspective, different viewpoint, different way we see things.
We see
And
we face realities.
well, no, it's not. You're not facing reality. You're
Oh, we
saying
are, we are.
it's your
It
viewpoint. It's not. That's
it
not the
is the
reality.
political reality in
It's your
Nigeria.
own.
That's
It's
what it
your
is.
own reality. No. What you say, it's your own reality. Your reality might not be my reality.
Well,
I mean, this is it. Because
no, no.
in the real sense of it,
We
first
can
of
dream
all,
like you.
our
We can dream
politics,
like you. We
our
can dream like
politics
you.
is
But he
messed
said
up.
it's just a dream. It has no substance.
Yeah, our politics is messed up. That's not politics we're running there. That's just some black man and Nigerians running some numbers and doing their thing. I mean, imagine INEC will be allocated billions of naira, and on the day of election, they know who they are going to put on the slot, and they will still take billions of naira and waste it, put it to the gutters. I mean, do you call that politics? That's real nonsense we are doing
So,
there.
Massive man, let me educate you. Let me educate you on the billions that was given to INEC.
Okay.
Effectively, we did not need to have voters cards because it
Thank
was
you.
never used. So most of the money, I can assure you, more than 80% of the money was used in printing voters card that we did not need.
And you call this reality? Now listen to this
But
again.
that's the reality.
That's reality in Nigeria. That's the mad reality
That
in Nigeria. It's crazy reality. Crazy.
Massive
So
man.
I think you are still very, very hot.
no,
No,
no.
he's not hot.
Listen,
No, no.
I'm a non-partisan. I'm
Listen to
non-partisan
this. Listen
man.
to
I'm a
this.
You are
newsman.
not. No,
So I have to
No.
you are
I have
not non-partisan.
The
You
truth
had a
is the
candidate,
truth is
and your
this.
candidate lost.
What what Massive Mark is saying is
uh-huh.
actually the heart of most Nigerians.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and those are the heart of most Nigerians. This is what they would desire. If they were in control, this is what they would want. But that's not
Mm-hmm.
the political reality
That's
on ground. So we're talking about the political reality on ground. And with all alacrity, I will say that Asiwaju will finish his 8 years.
but you agree that our political reality is the word
Well,
nonsense is not abusive. It's not. I'm not abusing it. It's
the point everywhere you go
nonsense
to
as
in this
in
world,
none.
in every
Doesn't make sense.
politics in the world, you look at United States of America, what is happening there now. You look at other places, you have issues. Nigeria is not the only place where we have political issues.
No,
Look
no.
at Ukraine.
Ours is mad issue, extra crazy. All right, gentlemen. Beautiful discussion. Anyway, sorry. Let's move on to something also good coming from Nigeria. Just a small one. Air Peace. Air Peace has done it again. Air Peace lifted up 78 trafficked Nigerian women from Cote d'Ivoire. Air Peace, you all know that airline Air Peace and the man there. Now it's sad that our people, these women, will be lured into this whole kind of thing, and they will find themselves in this situation, and they'll also be helpless. George, I know you're one advocate for such things. You get angry. I mean, these women have been there. What I read is they've been there for years, languishing in suffering so many kind of condition, and but eventually Air Peace has done them good. 78 of them brought back to their father's land. Yes, gentlemen,
Yes.
what do you have?
Well, and actually, we thank the president of APIS. What's his name again? Our brother,
Yema,
Onyema.
Allen Oyema.
Allen Onyema. He's done it again. He's done it again. This is just basically one of those, patriotic individuals that Nigeria needs. Because most of the time we blame the government for this, we blame the government for that. But look at this man from the way behind. When they were doing xenophobia in South Africa, he was the one that brought them back. When Sudan was having issues, he was the one that offered and brought them back. When Even during the pandemic, he offered free flights to a lot of people. So Allen Onyema has been a patriotic Nigerian, and we say kudos to him. And not only that, there are so many other free services is given even to people that when they were in difficulty. Most of these things the government has not been able to, they have not been able to do anything pertaining to this. But you see this man constantly offering the help that is needed on time. And 78 of these women, some of them were pregnant actually. So you can see the abuse that
Mhm.
happened to them while they were there. And kudos
Mm.
also to the very dark man who brought this thing to the attention. But this is what we are talking about. An efficient and effective government was supposed to be the one, they were supposed to be the one that would have brought this news out in the upfront, or even quietly go and, restore some of these young ladies. But yet it was a very dark one that they are fighting against right now, trying to shut him down. Was the one who brought about this, and because of that, AP Allen Onyema was able to offer his services. So for both of them, thumbs up, 5 stars to them. We are, we just say continue with the good job that you guys are doing.
Wow, good one, George. Good one. Raji, um,
Yes.
our sisters find themselves in this situation a lot of time. We're talking about this because most media homes don't would like to address these issues, and it's serious. Nigerians are scattered around the world. In these guys, they lie to them, lure them into this guise of there's a job somewhere, you're going to do this, and everybody wants a good life. And now our girls, our women, our ladies find themselves in very, very, very Italians will say periculous, dangerous situation where they
But what
from
you're
the
seeing here is even in your own country, the Italy that you're staying in right now, there are so many
yes,
of our women there that are languishing. And then when you
yes,
go to Dubai, when you go to
The
UAE,
Middle East.
most of them are there languishing. Just why is that? Because of the economic condition in our country. Because some of these girls, they were graduates, they couldn't go, they went to school, but there are no jobs. So either they're going to find a way to sustain themselves and their families, or they're just going to languish and go into prostitution in Nigeria. So it's just a deplorable, despicable, environment when it comes to, providing jobs for the graduates in our country. So it's all a survival mode. They wanted to survive, so they were going for the greener pastures out there, not knowing that it's nothing but a hellhole. Look at how many years that they spent over there. These are young women with talents and skills and educated. Most of them, they just go out there to hustle, to make ends meet, and it ought not to be. That's why we're praying for a good government in Nigeria, bring back industries in our country, flourish it with a lot of investment so that people can, when they finish school, bring colleges where they can learn skills. You don't have to always go to university. You can go to colleges where you learn skills. When they come out, they can become productive citizens of Nigeria. So these are what we are looking for the government to pay attention to these things, because it's a sign that something is wrong in our country when there is that Japa syndrome with everybody running away to greener pastures and going to suffer. Many of them are dead. It's sad. Sorry,
sad indeed.
Karachi.
Yeah, Raji, tell us your
Yes.
views on this whole thing.
See, my view is simple. One, while the government has a lot of blame, I do not put too much blame. I probably will put about 40% of the blame on government. Nigerians can be so gullible. After the CBEX Ponzi scheme, I could hear a few people around my neighborhood discussing about another scheme where you put 50,000 or 15,000, and within 2 weeks you get your money back. And then
Mm,
some of them saying that they will first go in and come out quick.
mm,
You see, because it seems as if most people don't even want to think about how they are going to make money legitimately. They are looking for something quick, something quick, something quick. I cannot, in clear conscience, ever believe that some people can leave Nigeria to go to Libya, for instance, for anything.
mm,
Libya, a country without any government, and then
Mm.
how do they go through the desert? This is a route that has been known for decades to be very
mm.
dangerous. How will you go through that? or go across the channel, across the Gibraltar Strait to Europe. These are dangerous routes. So why do we continue to do it? Is it out because of their gullibility, or they are easily deceived? But still, all said, if the conditions in the country were better, I don't think that a lot of people want to leave.
Mm.
And what one thing that this government is doing that I find very troubling is that there's almost a university in every local government of Nigeria. Yaba College of Tech has been upgraded to a university. Rather than building technical schools that will skill centers that will teach people skills, they are building universities all over the place. Meanwhile, the existing universities are not well funded. ASU is
Thank
always
you.
on strike.
That's
So
that's it.
so I don't know whether it's a
Yeah.
deliberate attempt to disrupt the educational system so that their
No,
own children who have gone to
no,
better schools will come and
no.
take over.
That's a very
Hold on
good.
a second. Let me
Uh-huh.
share something with you. One of the main reasons why many colleges are not rising up in Nigeria is simply because number one, you have to remember that most of these things that they do, it requires a lot of electricity. Number one. Number two, technical skills involve a whole lot. So one of the major issues why you don't see a lot of them rising up is, to begin with, even the modern technological equipments that are needed to teach the modern way of doing things is not in Nigeria. One of the major issues is there are technical issues, technical equipments that need a lot of electricity. So most of these universities, they don't have electricity. And if they do, then it's easier. So for you to think about bringing a college with skills and all that kind of stuff, like what we were talking about last week, we're talking about laptops. Laptops, are you going to fund the school with laptops? Who is going to man it? Why are they going to be able to recharge when it's dead? Are they going to be working with the dead laptops? So these are little things that because of lack of power, electricity in our country, we are deprived of a lot of advancement that could have
If
come. you know Go ahead.
please,
Yes.
Sir George,
Thank you.
let me assure
Mhm.
you, that privately, Nigerians probably generate more electricity than the country does
Mm.
through their own private efforts. When a welder down the road sees that, look, he needs electricity, he provides it for himself.
Mhm.
The number of apart from
Mhm.
neighbor generators I see in my neighborhood is
Okay.
enough to power. Yes. So don't let us start giving excuses about no power or no.
No, what you
But, 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 but,
Nigerians
but,
are
but,
listen,
resilient
but you have to
and
understand.
they are
Hold on a
creative.
second.
what,
No,
mhm, what
hold
you're
on a
both
second.
saying.
Look
Mhm.
at the hotels in Nigeria. Tell me, if the power was steady, these hotels that are now buying diesel and buying generators to continue to fuel their this thing, that have increased the prices of staying in hotels. If the lights were constant, I can guarantee you most hotels will not be as expensive. It is expensive, simply because of the high cost of maintaining hotels. When we talk about tariffs, the downside of tariff is that the customers are the ones going to end up paying more, which is what they're learning today in America, and they're crying out. So when you talk about all these things, if we have steady power and steady supply of power in Nigeria, many things will be better. Many things will be better. But because we don't have it, when they are produced, when they are coming out, they have to factor in the prices of generating power in order for them to be able to sustain. So these are things that the people are paying for, the downside of not having electricity in our country. That's the
That's
major
it.
issue there.
Listen, both of you are giving great insight to all of this. The core of the situation, the thing is electricity. The core also is we need to begin to imbibe that ideology of acquiring skills. Our youth should acquire more skills. We are down the ladder of skill acquisition in the world. So good talk, gentlemen. Let's go on the small break. Viewers, I hope you're enjoying this. It's more like a family discussion going on today between the lines, and we are happy to be doing this. So let's see you guys on the other side as we continue. Thank you.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Elevate your new week. Fuel your success. SSM invites you to kickstart each weekday with our news update, Between the Lines, featuring the week's top news and analysis, and the most attention-grabbing lines, deciphering world event.
Yes, between the lines. Today, the 12th of May, 2025, Raji and George and me were here. Viewers, you're welcome back. Guys, what we want to be doing also on this network is to once in a while portray some of the culture, traditions of Nigeria, beautiful cultures. So what you just saw is the Benue people. There's a tribe in Benue State. Benue State is Middle Belt, Nigeria, and you have these the Tiv people, you have the Otukpo, you have various tribes there. So they have that dance, they move their body, very, very energetic dance. George, you like that dance, George? Did you see
Well,
that?
it was culturally sweet.
Yes, yes, culturally sweet. All right, talking about culture, let's come down to something important. You guys are talking of light and skill. Um, the former IG of police in Nigeria, that's a man called Mike Okire, has said that George is always saying the Nigeria need to have state police, but this man says no, that the issue is underfunding. Gentlemen, my says it's underfunding. Nigerian police are underfunded. A lot of materials are not provided. A lot. So, let me hear from Raji. Raji, that's Mike Okire there. One time,
Mhm.
Inspector General of Police. He says he's cautioning. He says let's caution against the widespread assumption that introducing state police will automatically solve Nigerians' deepening security problem. So what do you guys agree? George would agree.
I don't think he's being honest. I don't think he's
Ah,
being honest. But he's chipped in the unitary government, so he cannot have a different opinion. Before 1966, before the 1966 coup, there were regional police, and security was very, very, very uh, high on the in the books of these police people. After the January 15 coup, or the counter after the January 15 coup, that the whole police forces were now put into a single structure. There is no
mm,
way that a central command will be able to look at the security problems in my village in Mbese, you know. But
mm,
if they are state police, there will be state police starting from the townships, from the local government, from the state. there could be a central police force which will be in charge of federal issues, just as we have in the United States, where when a crime is committed across states, it becomes a federal matter.
Mm.
But you see, looking at his face, is the person who will not want his authority to be dwindled by ceding some to a state.
Well,
Unfortunately,
he's no more in power. He's no more in
I
power.
understand you. I understand you.
So,
Unfortunately, most of the people who grew up, who are in power today, people who were born probably during in the 60s and very late 50s, who did not even feel the regional government and understand what it means for a federal state to have, for a a federation to have regional authorities.
George,
Well,
what do you say?
well, I mean, I can't discard what he's saying
Mm-hmm.
because what he's saying is part of the problem with the policing in Nigeria. Inadequate funding, inadequate equipments. But the problem is the situation is to do anything for which the benefits exceeds the cost. Right now, the police is not functioning right in Nigeria. The federal police is not manning enough in the states where they are. So in essence, really, it will be easier if you have a local state police who know the people, who are among the people, who can actually get information easily from their own people. They know how to deal with some of these security issues in Nigeria. But to say that he's saying that it could not be the immediate solution to the problem, no, it might not be an immediate solution to the problem. But the fact is that when you create state police, it is better for them in manning the situation that is local to them and with the people. So, you cannot just discard it and say, oh, no, it cannot work. Yes, it can work. There might be issues. Even when you begin that, there will be a lot of issues at the very beginning until they master the craft and know how to be able to do it. Even right now, look at what is going on in every state, especially like in Igbo land, eastern part of Nigeria. You have security forces. You have them. And the government is paying these people. They're carrying guns. So what is the difference between bringing an official police, state police, that can be there, learn the state, they know everything about the people. Right now, the government is creating security forces aside the police. You can go hire them for your personal protection. They are actually the ones that are doing a lot of job instead of the police. So what is the need doing that? And the government is paying them anyway. Why can't you form a state police? Train them adequately and make sure that they know how to handle these issues. Rather than creating a state, security forces that are not actually official Nigerian police, where these state police people will be able to take care of local businesses because they know the people, they are among the people, they're from the people. And that's one of the major issues there that we are having. So we need to really, ensure that most of these states that are clamoring and actually creating state police state security, they're gonna turn them into police. Let's train them to be state police. We know they are official. We know that the guns that they're carrying belong to the state. If we, and then the state can actually be able to equip their own police force and help them, train them in managing the security issues in the state. So I think he is completely wrong, but not complete. No, he is wrong, but not completely wrong. Because being underfunded and neglecting the police force is one of the major issues that we still have in our country. But when we start a state police, and then the governor can be able to take care of these people, train them, even if they have to go outside, to train or bring, people from outside to come and train them locally, it will be good.
George, I took time to listen to you because, yes, you're making sense. Raji made sense too. But the man, since he was in that position, and he probably must have checked on all of these loopholes, and this is why he's giving his own view on it. Anyway, let's see how it plays out, if federal government will listen to him, or if one thing that should be done. One thing we know, George and Raji, our policemen are not well. They are ill taken care of. I mean,
It was deliberate. It was
deliberate.
It was deliberate. When the military came in, the only counter force against them was the police. So what they had to do was to disable the police. Before the military took over completely, there was a police post in almost every major town, and they had communication across the country, so that if something happened in the embassy, for instance, the next minute the people in Arochukwu will know about it, because the police were in communication with each other. But when the military came in, the only force that could stand against them was the police. So they have to demolish the police. So they deliberately underfunded and underarmed the police, so the police cannot be a counterforce against them. So it's a serious balance of power.
Okay, Raji. Thank you, Raji. Guys, let's do some small.
One of the major issues that's really a powerful information that he just brought.
Yes.
But why is it that we are not going back? Because 1999 Constitution actually destroyed a lot of things. But up until today, we're still fighting against each other, whether we ought to go back into the Federal Republic state instead of, the military, head of state that was ruling everything. It seems like we like that military aspect of things. If not, why can't we just, change the Constitution so that I will actually fit into the spectrum of democratic government rather than still, doing...
Because most people don't know better. They grew up in this unitary system. They have no idea whatsoever about federation. In fact, it's difficult to explain what a federation should be to most of these people, even in government, in national assemblies and state assemblies.
Okay, by the way, Olayinka Raji, this news that you just brought about another news you heard about this thing, this pyramid scheme festering, it is your responsibility as a statesman to make sure you call the law enforcement and let them know about, find out for yourself what these people, what they do, what is their name, report it immediately. Report it. If not, you're going to see thousands of people's money will be siphoned, and you need to, because that's what they do. That's what they say. Nobody tells us about these things. It's secret until it's too late. So report it to make sure that they know the name of that organization. You need to do that.
It is very difficult to save a man who is willing to drown.
It doesn't matter, but do your own part.
Because he believes that this is the best option for him.
Do your own part as an enlightened individual is what we are asking you.
Of course, we'll do what we can do.
Yes, do that. Do that and leave the rest to God.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you. Yes, thank you. No, but that was good, George. And we have this platform here. We don't know where our voice should be reaching out to.
So what you do, if you find it out, who report it to? We'll report it to the government too.
Yes, we want to use this platform to also tell our fellow Nigerians, fellow Africans, please don't get carried away with this fast, quick money. It puts you in more trouble than what the gain. Don't do. I mean, we did a little talk on the Ponzi scheme, the history. This country I stay, Italy. A man from this country started this whole thing. Adding numbers, adding figures, and making people fall for this. So we use this to say, please be on the guard and watch out.
Yes. There's also this thing we call conditioned reflex. No wonder people have been used to be so scammed. It becomes part of their way of life. So all that they have to do now is to try and find a way to take advantage of the scam.
Okay.
To take advantage of the scam. So it is very difficult.
There's another one humans do, people do, and that is when they are scammed, they look out for somebody they can also scam.
Scam, yes.
They now make it a point of duty to also play out somebody.
So they can get part of their money from the guy they are scamming.
Yes.
So it's a serious scamming.
It's a serious coming. All right, guys, let's talk small on international news before we go. Putin has proposed a direct peace talk with Ukraine. He wants to have that talk in Istanbul, Turkey. He says he hopes this will bring a lasting peace into the whole situation. Now, some people went to Ukraine to necessitate this whole peace talk, and France PM, French Prime Minister, the UK Prime Minister, and the German man were all on this together. Gentlemen, will this Istanbul peace talk bring a lasting solution to what is happening in Ukraine and Russia?
Well, you see, historically, all wars eventually end up at the table.
Okay.
Unfortunately, human beings are such that knowing that all wars will eventually end at the table, they still try, they still do everything they can do not to avoid the war. They fight the war and then they come to the table. Meanwhile, they could just go to the table and then speak and then not waste so much of their own resources and lives. So I hope that this comedian Zelensky has learned some sense, especially now that most of the resources of this country is being taken by the United States for nothing. Especially so, especially now that maybe he has more historical understanding of the relationship between Russia and Ukraine and the importance of Ukraine as the only warm water port for Russia, so that for the protection of Russia and Ukraine itself, because most of the advancements that were made in the former USSR were made in Ukraine, were stationed in Ukraine, because Ukraine was a fantastic country, and there's a historical relationship between them. There are more than 40% of people who speak native Russian. So in the first instance, the war was not necessary. But as I said, man hardly ever learns from history, and then he's now guided by history after the fact.
All right, George, you think there'll be lasting peace on this, agreeing to a ceasefire and all that?
We're entering into it with fingers crossed. I mean, Zelensky was skeptical at the beginning, but he's agreed because Trump is pushing him to agree, and he's agreed. And that's the major issue there. Now, Europeans, the ones that went to see Zelensky not too long ago, I think it was last week, they were putting their own conditions that there ought to be a complete ceasefire before that meeting on Thursday. But the point is that as it stands so far, all the ceasefires that they had actually proposed, which when some of them went into effect, was not respected. So that's why Zelensky was a little bit skeptical at the beginning. But if this is a move that could bring about a positive result, so he's agreed to go. Because one of the major issues, is very important to Trump, so that he can claim victory, that he stopped the war. So that's why he's forcing him accept the deal for him to accept the deal and move.
Anyhow it happens, well, we want the war stopped, gentlemen. But along the line, prior to going to Zelensky yesterday to talk about this, to come to the ceasefire table, something interesting happened. Let's see this clip before we talk. Let's see this clip.
A drink. Yeah.
It's a long walk. I'll be back in Poland.
Through my bathroom, huh?
Yes. It's literally. We came through Germany, and then we made it to France.
German bedroom, and
we got through the border.
Right. The photo, and after that we'll be allowed to have a drink. Yeah.
Okay. If you look well, there's a point where the French Prime Minister somehow he grabbed the white paper. He hid a bag of the white paper behind while they were still talking. Now you can see that circle with the red. That was the paper before he now hid it. Now this became a viral video and a talk today everywhere. It's actually the French, the Russian TV station said that was a bag of cocaine that was in front of them, in front of the UK Prime
Macron.
Minister, German Prime Minister, and he quickly hid it so that the people won't see it. But French media came out and said it's a lie. It's a tissue paper, just a tissue paper that was in front of the French Prime Minister, and he just took it away because they were taking photos. Gentlemen, the world is changing now. Little things could be used against people at the helms of affairs. You know, you are top of your game, something could be used to drag you down. So this is what is happening today. The two countries are going back and forth. The media are saying it's cocaine, bag of cocaine. This says no, it's just a tissue paper. And this is what we've been hearing. What will you say about it, Judge? Raji?
As a matter of fact, the photograph can be doctored in such a way that it will look like a small sachet of cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, but when the camera zoomed in, I could see that it looks more like a piece of tissue paper than a bag of cocaine. Yes.
Okay.
People's imaginations are just so active.
Interesting.
The bottom line to it is this is so stupid. It doesn't even need to make any news. By looking at that paper, you know it's a tissue paper. And then as a classy man he is, who wants tissue paper in front of you? You know, when you're taking pictures, you know. So for him to remove it immediately was a very, enlightened, civilized thing to do. You don't want tissue paper there while you're taking pictures. You know, I mean, so even as a matter of fact, it could be one of the people taking pictures that would have called the attention to remove it. Because we know what we do when we do these things. You know, so to him, it might not have been anything. But it's just, he grabbed it and then took it. If you look at it, you see it's a squished tissue paper. There's nothing inside of it. You know, so, and, for them to start making news about this is stupid to me as far as I'm concerned. Very stupid.
I think I'll blame the photographer. I've seen a picture where King Charles had buttoned his coat badly, has put the first button on the second one, and his coat was askew. And the photographer took that picture. The same thing with Wike. In fact, Wike was even sober at that time. I wouldn't say he was sober. I could see that he was sober, but then his coat was.
Are you sure that he was? Are you sure? She walked wonders in Nigeria.
Anyway, before we go, yes, thank you guys. Let's do some. These are just updates. India and Pakistan agreed to an immediate ceasefire. Also, America is mediating on that. We hope that will come true because a lot of people have died also, and there have been too much commotion from that part of the world. Also, I don't know if you guys
even on that news, it's not being respected because there were explosions on both sides. Actually, after this particular announcement of ceasefire, so they were still fighting with each other. That's the latest news that just came out. So about 66 civilians are already dead, sparking fears of a wider conflict between the nuclear armed rivals.
The surprising thing is that the place is barren. The place is almost lifeless. But India and Pakistan will forever fight upon that place. It started in 1947 and it
has always been a volatile issue. All right, gentlemen, also a quick one. Let's just run through all this very quick. The present presidential candidate for South Korea has just withdrew his candidature. He says he's not running. So that gives room for his rival to come in. That's Han Dok-soon. Han Dok-soon withdraws from the presidential race. So now you have just one candidate, and it's obvious that one candidate might just take.
It's likely,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
or it's guaranteed.
It's got
If you're the
Then
only one, who are you competing with?
there are certain examples for Nigeria to follow.
that's Nigeria for you. Is it
So
one
that
party
by the
thing?
time we are going for elections, all the other people will now say, okay, I concede the seat to Jagaban, to Simba.
Mm,
It's now Simba.
mm.
Therefore,
Okay. Finally, also in this quick news, there's an interesting one there. Our man, we know what is happening anyway. River State, the minister of Abuja, Nelson Wike, says suspended governor Fubara of River State has been making reconciliatory moves. He even visited him last time with two other governors. So, gentlemen, Wike has indeed become an emperor, and he's really moving strong. So, this is the news that they are trying to reconcile. So, what do you think might happen, Raji? Is it
you
reconcile
know,
for
my
Fubara to
my
come back?
my people will tell you that, look, give the madman, call the madman the husband, so that he will allow you to be your husband. But then my people also tell you that be careful with the madman you call husband, because he will now start seeing himself as a husband. So whatever approachment Fubara is making, you should be careful. You should be
Oh my
careful
God.
to call a madman the husband when he is not sure whether the madman will allow him to be husband or the madman will take over his husbandry. So
Mm,
you should be careful. It is okay for Fubara to make reconciliatory moves. Yes,
moves.
it will be okay. Yes, to be okay. And then you see, over time, with time, things things tend to ease up. I'm sure that the elders in Rivers are not quiet.
Mm,
They are not quiet. So pressures will be piling up, piling up. There's a level when the madman comes, and then we now start seeing some sanity in him, and then you now be, oh, this man is not so mad as we thought to. So let's all have some peace.
let's all have some peace.
Yeah,
Wow. Mhm,
as for
mhm.
myself,
Yes.
Fubara, a lot of people are looking at him as being weak, because of this move that he's making. But the point
Mhm.
about it is this: if Fubara was only fighting with Yeson Wike, it's a different thing altogether. But
Okay.
what is happening is Yeson Wike and the president are very tight. And whatever
Mhm,
Yeson Wike wants to do, the president quietly is behind. Not saying anything, but actually, agreeing with him, because if not, he would have called him to order. Stay
mhm,
here in the federal, republic, in the federal capital and man what you're doing. But this
mhm.
man is doing exactly what Asiwaju wants him to do.
To
And
do.
by the way, congratulations to Asiwaju. He was just given a chieftaincy title in Anambra State.
Yeah, but we talked about that last time.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. I just want to, because I wasn't
It's
there.
now Simba.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so he's DK Sinamba. DK
DK
Sinamba.
number. Yes. Yeah.
Asiwaju DK
We talked
Sinamba.
about. Yeah.
Congratulations. So we just wanted
I,
to,
I called him DK Simba.
DK Sinamba.
No,
That's
I don't think it was
the
number.
hero
I think
from the
it's
other land. The hero
okay.
from another land.
The
Anyway,
hero from
thank you
another
very
land.
much. Yes,
The
thank
man
you,
is a
George.
real hero. The man is a real hero.
Mm, so yes, moving forward also, there's this story of Senator what's her name again? Natasha uh,
Natasha
accusing
Dwyer.
Akpabio of curbing free speech. She claims that the satirical letter she wrote does not violate any court order because Akpabio is saying it violates court order and all that. So it doesn't seem like it's ending this situation. Raji, why are they escalating further and further?
No, I don't think it was a court order. I think it was a request or something that uh, uh, Wike's lawyer wanted from her, that she must apologize, and then she
with
apologized in her own way.
with that satirical
Yes,
letter.
satirical
It's,
letter. Yes.
uh-huh.
One of the
George.
thing
Mhm.
what they need to do. This woman is becoming a thorn in their flesh, and is a very painful thorn. And what they need to do, they cannot win this lady because he's already sought out for international affiliation and international support. And when you begin to do Me Too type of movement, be careful. What they need to do is to find a lasting solution, just like what Ukraine and Russia is doing right now. Both of them, they need to come to a common level of understanding for the benefit of the people from her state, because she's a senator there, and for the benefit of this man also, because this war is going to destroy both of them if they're not careful. And his image is already tarnished because right now he's in a volatile situation that every move he makes is being questioned by everybody. So the best thing to do is to find a lasting solution, bring this woman back to continue to represent her people. Because as it stands right now, she's not losing this war, she's winning it. And whenever she makes noise, whenever she sneezes, the Senate president, starts to shake. So we need to find a way to mediate and bring them solution, so that they can peacefully continue with the administration.
Good one, George. Okay, so we want peace. We want things to go well with everybody. Gentlemen, I think we've been able to look through some of the major news for the week during the weekend and those that came up today. Is there anything we're missing out, George?
Well,
Yeah.
we're not missing out on anything. I just want to say kudos to Nigeria. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May God grant wisdom to the leaders, because we need help we need divine intervention based on what is happening in that country right now. So we need it. We pray for the president, and we also pray for the governors and the state assembly and the federal assembly. So for them to continue, because our people are dying daily and we need divine intervention on things happening. So may God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria and bless our president also. Thank you.
Wow, good one. Raji, yes.
Yeah, I ditto what George has said. Uh, we are enjoying to pray for our leaders because we don't have any other country.
It's only Nigeria.
Their success is our success.
Amen. That's it.
And we also want to pray for our leaders that they should please tender their ego. When we say they are not doing the right thing, it's not that we are not attacking them. It is for our own
It's
good too.
constructive
That
criticisms.
yeah,
Yes.
it's criticism, and then we prefer solutions. And they can't be alpha and omega and everything. They should know that even the citizens also have some ideas, and therefore they are not the only people with ideas. The citizens
Mm.
also have some ideas. It is for our own good, for our own mutual good.
For our own good, viewers, this is it. The gentlemen have spoken so well. So, and you have been on Between the Lines today, Monday, 12th of May. We hope to be with you on Wednesday also for our African update. George, Raji, you guys rock. Thank you for coming,
Thank
and
you.
have a beautiful week. Bye-bye.
Elevate your
Yeah.
new week. Fuel your success. SSM invites you to kickstart each weekday with our news update, Between the Lines, featuring the week's top news and analysis, and the most attention-grabbing lines, deciphering world event.